Good morning, everyone. Today is May 26th, and thank you again for joining into our weekly PPACA webinars. Hopefully you continue to find these informative and useful. If you're new to the format, they last less than a half an hour each week. It is a place where you can ask your questions, and we can all learn together because this law is too big for all of us, and we need each other's help to decipher all of the implications of this law. So again, ask your questions and hopefully we'll all be better for it. So right into the agenda, great news as always, 1,100 more Capital Blue Cross policyholders have been identified as having FFM data match issues. We did get that list, and all affected agent partners have been notified. So if you have not been notified by Judy Reed, the new business specialist for individual health here at URL, then you are safe. If you have, then you have your list of clients that you need to reach out to and get them to resend or re-upload the information requested from the FFM so they can continue with their coverage, obviously, and probably more importantly, can continue on with any subsidy or cost share reduction. So just be mindful of that. And again, if you've not received an email from Judy, count yourself lucky because you skated by this issue. So on to the next topic is the exempt versus non-exempt. There is some information in my newsletter that went out this morning about the changes that will take effect December 1st of 2016. And basically what this does is it ups the salary, it ups the amount of money income that a salaried employee can make before they are ineligible for overtime pay. So your non-exempt employees that are salaried would have to make less now than $47,476 annually or less than $913 per week. If they do make less than that and are salaried executives, then they are subject to overtime pay even though they are salaried. So again, that information is in the newsletter. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Obviously, we do have some time, but 12/1's going to be here before we know it. So I wanted to at least keep you in the loop. Highmark, review of all off-exchange SEP submissions. Not that anybody's writing a ton of SEP business now, but effective May 31st, which is right around the corner, the Highmark folks will be reviewing all off-exchange special enrollment period submissions. They're going to have to provide the documentation that they do have a qualifying event, and there are certain steps that Highmark's putting into place as far as notification of the agent if anything is missing. But again, if you're sending them through us, then please be prepared to have all of that information, the documentation, or there's just no use in submitting to the carrier. Again, this information is in the newsletter, so be mindful of that. More wonderful commission news. Aetna, Coventry, any commission issues, the reconciliation is due May 31st. So if you do have any missing FFM or non-FFM business that you've not been paid on, please reach out to Brandy Coleman ASAP or get me a list of the clients. There's a spreadsheet that has to be completed. I can also send you that information, but it has to be completed. They're not taking onesies and twosies of emails for the inquiries. They are requiring that everything is submitted in their format on their Excel spreadsheet. And again, that information is due by the 31st of May. So again, time is of the essence, and we want you to get paid. So, and of course, we'd like to get paid for that business as well, the override. So if you have anything that's outstanding, please let us know ASAP. On a lighter note, many of you do the under 65 health for individual and group, but I also know that many of you do the senior products. And certification's right around the corner. Probably, of course, there's no set date, but I did talk to Karen McDaniel yesterday, and she said usually June, July it comes out. So just be mindful of that. That is right around the corner, and if you've not been involved in selling the senior products, it is a good business. It's definitely more level and maybe less stressful than the under 65 market, but it is a good opportunity. And again, if you've not taken advantage of it in the past and you're interested, now's the time to at least start thinking about it. On to the next bullet point, Hershey Med and Pinnacle Health. So last week we talked about how there was a stay on the merger, but the judge basically said, nope, the merger is going to be allowed to move forward because this is just a result of health insurance reform and what are providers supposed to do. Well, that has changed, and a federal appeals court has granted a stay that stalls plans by Pinnacle and Penn State Milton Hershey to merge. So they sent it back again to federal court, and that means that the merger is on hold, and that the federal court also promised to speed up the appeals process, and sometime this summer, quote unquote, is supposed to be when a decision is made. So obviously for Central PA folks that affects us, and it's something that we need to be watching. And I'll let you know as soon as I know anything, of course. Next bullet point, Gemini Program. I know we've talked about this periodically on our webinars, but I wanted to just kind of ask you to review the information on our website and see if it is a right fit for you. It is a higher level of partnership where you are rewarded for doing all of your business with URL, whether it's health or senior, life, annuities, specialty lines, employee benefits. So all of that business, if you bring it to us, you're rewarded. You're rewarded by the Gemini Guarantee Commission Match, which means that we're not going to ask you to take a lower compensation. We're either going to match it or beat it. And if we can't, then those products themselves are outside the Gemini program, and you can continue doing business as you've always done. So again, on our website, it's a great opportunity. There are a lot of extra bonuses built into our Gemini program, different opportunities available for you. So again, is it a fit for you? Well, you can certainly look at the information and decide that on your own, or I would love to talk to you about it. So if you do review the program and have questions, give me a call, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions. On to Contraceptive, the SCOTUS decision. This is kind of interesting that the Supreme Court of the United States can't come to a decision, so they throw it back to the lower courts to basically say, we can't make a decision, you guys are going to have to try to work it out amongst yourselves. So, that's the state of our union, I suppose, where the Supreme Court can't come to a decision and, of course, shows the importance of having, hopefully, the right president in office, if that's even a possibility, that can appoint the Supreme Court justices to be able to make these decisions. But at this point, in the lower courts, and of course, it's a fight with the religious groups and employers that basically say, listen, we don't want any part of contraceptive or anything that even hints of paying for an abortion that's against our religious beliefs. So, of course, that is in direct contradiction to the PPACA law, so that's why it's been in the courts for almost since the beginning. It did go, again, to the Supreme Court, and this is now back in the lower courts because our Supreme Court of the United States can't make a decision. So wanted to let you know about that as well. And then Highmark, the FFM certifications with my aspiration. I know a lot of you certified, a lot of you had issues with that Sales Sentinel system where you had to go in and upload your FFM certifications. I don't know if it was a Sales Sentinel issue, a CMS issue, or a Highmark issue, or probably some of all. but there are a few that Highmark notified us that they did not have the certifications. So Brandy Coleman, who is our Director of Commissions, is going to be sending out an email to the affected folks and letting them know that you have to provide those certifications through Sales Sentinel. All the links are going to be there. And unfortunately, unless you do it, or unless you do it, those commissions are going to be held, which is just ridiculous, for lack of a better term. So watch for that email. If you have questions, give Brandy a call or myself a call, and I'll certainly try to help you as much as I can. So with all that great news going on, I'm opening it up for any questions that you may have. In the interim, just a reminder, we will have our webinar next Thursday. Of course, our office is closed on Monday in celebration of the Memorial holiday. So hopefully you'll all enjoy that. And do have a couple questions. Treat says, I know you already mentioned this before, Scranton Times Tribune article today on Highmark's request 48% rate increase on ACA plans. Oh, that's great, Treat. I actually didn't see that. I was on the website for the PID yesterday, and they've not posted any of the filings, but isn't that interesting? So 48% increase. That'll be fun for all of us, right? Thanks for that info. Deb says, has anyone received their FFM commissions? Yes, Deb, they have. I'm not sure. You might have a more specialized sort of issue going on. So I'll circle back around with you and Deb and see what's going on there. Treat also says that she'll send a copy, and I'll, of course, get that out to all of you. Tracy says, can you please go over exempt versus non-exempt? Yes. Again, and yes, the answer is that I will. And this is also, I'll send you some information, Tracy. There's also information on HR 360 if you are on the portal. You can pull that up. But essentially, what it says is that what the DOL did is they bumped up the salary. So if you have salaried folks that are making less than $913 per week or $47,476 per week, per year, and that's salaried, then if they make less than that and they work overtime, then they are subject and eligible to receive that overtime pay, even though they're salaried employees. Of course, salaried employees don't just work your 9 to 5, they work, as we all do, a lot of hours. And if those salaried folks are being put into a salaried category just to avoid overtime pay, this law is, or this addition to the law is made to prevent that, so that people that do make less than salaried folks that make less than $913 a week are eligible for overtime pay if they work more than 40 hours. Hopefully that makes sense, and that goes into effect as of 12/1 of this year, 12/1/16. So that brings us up to the end of the questions. As always, I truly appreciate everyone joining in every week. I did put some spring flowers on the PowerPoint today, hopefully, because we'll see a lot of flowers since we're not having rain any longer. But more importantly, hopefully you enjoy the holiday, and thank a veteran for keeping us free and keeping us being able to complain about the State of the Union as we do. So again, thanks again, and pardon me, have a great weekend and a great holiday. Bye-bye.